Earlier today, I had the pleasure of interviewing Australian author Gordon Smith about his novel, The Ministry Communications Unit. Gordon, where did you compose most of the story?
I prefer to compose and formulate my stories while overlooking one of the quiet, but inspiring locations by the glorious Sunshine Coast Ocean.
What inspired you to write the Ministry Communications Unit?
After visiting the Sunshine Coast Library, I was surprised about what an important part the local area played in the war. After further reading, I started to formulate my story about this fictional unit and the part they may have played in the protection of Brisbane.
And how did you decide on the subject?
I needed to focus the story on the key members of the Ministry Communications Unit. I had heard about the so-called Brisbane Line, so I started to research all about it. My thought was, if the Brisbane Line existed, how would the civilian population feel about over half of Australia being abandoned? This led me to the conclusion that maybe a section would be needed to reassure the civilian population they were well protected.
Gordon, where did the title come from?
Early in the story, after they were given all area passes, the army posted a sign on the gate of their compound within the massive Eagle Farm military base that read, Ministry Communications Unit. Authorized personnel only. This gave me the obvious title for my story.
What do you consider the strongest, most emotional phrase in the story?
There are many emotional sections. The torpedoing of the hospital ship Sensual was certainly charged with emotions of disbelief, anger as well as sadness. When Jill unexpectedly sees her husband Bob after his rescue, it is a strong and emotional episode. Another special moment was when the newsreel finished, and the film of Jackie and her baby came on the screen. Jackie's mum shrieked, "That's my granddaughter," and everyone in the theater stood up and applauded. But by far I think the most emotional was when Jill opened the letter from Bob telling her he had filed for a divorce. She had no idea as she was in love with her husband.
Thank you for your time today. I am sure our readers will not be able to put the Ministry Communications Unit down once they start to read the story.
The Ministry Communications Unit is available in both paperback and ebook formats from Amazon. You can explore The Ministry Communications Unit on Amazon.